Hello, tubers and groovers, and welcome to this edition of Take the Field with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
And when you mention the word boundary mic, you think, oh, that's the old PZM, don't you? Well, yeah, they're brilliant, these PZMs. That's if you can get hold of them, because they're worth quite a lot of money now. First time I ever saw one of these was on the wall in a police station when they'd taken you for, like, what's the names, you know, when they interview you, interrogate you and that.
Yeah.
Beat you up, and then you got a bad copper and a good copper. That's where I first and last saw one of those, apart from just now. Simon and I, as you know, we do this programme regularly, and we try different microphones out. Just try and get the right sound, and it's been difficult. Actually, it's been harder to get the audio right than it has the video, isn't it?
Yeah, we've tried everything from the really cheap, not those ones, the cheap £3 mics to the 414s to...
These things here are about 600 each now. And I've got a pair of them, and they sound great when you're using them close up like that. They sound fantastic, but as a pair side by side, whoops, I'm making a lot of noise now. It's probably picking up. As a pair side by side, they're not that great. I mean, it's a grand's worth of mics for not the best sound in the world. You've got to have them over your face, really, ain't you?
Yeah,
it's a good radio sound. Isn't
exactly,
it?
Yeah.
So I had the bright idea one day. He said, "Why don't we try a boundary mic on the table, or close enough we could have it here hidden?" But what this is, you've probably seen them before. It's a Shure Beta 91A. I'll do a close up, but I'll hold that up for you there just for a second like that. Let's see if that's steady enough for you to be able to see. Now, these are boundary mics, Simon, aren't they? But do you know what they're mainly used for?
In fact, I do, yes.
He does. They use them for
bass drums.
They are the best sounding bass drum mic, I swear to you, that money can buy. An RE20 is a good choice, in my opinion. Although I've never used one, but I imagine an RE20 would be good.
Well, D112 would be the favourite for years.
D112s are about £120, I think. These are anywhere between $270 to $300. Roughly $299 is about your middle price. Is what you're going to pay for one of these. The difference in sound between that and a D112, believe me, is worth the money that you pay for this, because this gives you all the click and all that real subsonic bass. You get that real Metallica bass drum sound every time without any effort. But we're actually using it to try and record our dialogue for the Take the Fear Out of the Gear show. So for now, we haven't even heard it ourselves yet. We won't know until we watch this back as to whether it sounds any good.
Yeah, so the build quality of the Beta 91A is amazing. It's all solid metal. Feels really heavy. It's a great sounding microphone. The most interesting thing is, we hate to say this, but Behringer have done a clone. Obviously they only just announced it just before Christmas, so I think unless you were really quick you would have got one, but there's a waiting list now, but we reckon they're around £70.
I mean, if that sounds half as good as that for that money, it's a bargain.
It'll be anyone doing like recording like this, or your kick drum, or any kind of recording. If it's like Jay says, if it's any good, it's got to be worth having, isn't it?
Knowing the new supergroup of Behringer, so you got to remember, this mic won't just be Behringer; it'll be TC Electronics Turbo Sound. It goes on and on the list.
Yeah.
They're a supergroup now. They're not just Behringer as we know them from the past. They're cloning stuff. Now, this cost me £300 many moons ago, and now they've made a mic that's as good as that, probably, for £70. Now, we haven't actually looked into that mic, and we're not actually here to talk about that mic, to be honest.
But we might see if we can get one. We'll do a comparison.
We'll do a comparison in the future. We haven't got one yet. But basically, this is as much a test for me and Simon as it is for you guys to see whether this mic is any good for dialogue. I mean, I have no idea.
Maybe if I do a radio voice right in front of it, mate, you know, it's Dave Doubledecks on the fine art and Dublin. I don't know what to say because I'm not a DJ, but usually when you speak right close into these things is when they sound at their best.
However, it can handle the bass drum going whack right in front of it being hit all night long, and the diaphragm takes that quite well. Now, going back to these, they are fabulous. Any drummers out there and any sound engineers out there, I'm going to give you a little tip. If you've got a pair of PZMs, right, put them back to back and put them above your kit as a pair of overheads. You will be blown away. You can use clove pegs to hold them together, but put a little bit of rubber behind them. So So you want that way you're getting as far left and right as can possibly be because they're back to back. You will be amazed. I did a recording in Diploma Studios back in the 80s in Bickernacre, Chelmsford, and that's what they used, and it was the best overhead sound I ever heard, and I've used them and got the same results. They work. A tip of the hat to the PZM, good old Tandy.
Exactly. It's a shame they don't still make them.
So really all we wanted to show you today, guys, is whether or not we can use a boundary mic like a Shure 91A, a Beta 91A, as a boundary mic for vocals, for dialogue. So
give us some comments, see if you think it sounds better than last time, or...
I mean, you can go back to have a look at one of our videos where we're talking into a 414 and tell us what sounds better, that or the 414s. My betting is it'll probably be that. So for this edition of Take the Fear Out of the Gear, ladies and gentlemen, and our first for the year 2020, I would like to say thanks for sticking with us, and it's goodbye from me, Jason Bangers.
And it's goodbye from me, Mr. Chumley Warner.
Ciao, ciao.
See you later.
All the best, guys. Take care.